Are we live? Now let's move this down. Out of the fucking picture here. Hear my little bells. Hear my little bells. All right, there we go. Seems about right. So, what do we have tonight? Well, it's just a little catch up stream. Just gonna pop on here quick and get some quick commentary for what's going on. The Twitter leaks and all the fun stuff that goes along with the Twitter leaks. So, what happened over the weekend? Elon released, Elon, again, in fact, let's go back here, because some things need to be put into perspective. I think there's a big misunderstanding when it comes to the general perception of who Elon Musk is. I think, like, yeah, he's a bigger than life person, really smart, genius. He's also not exactly a megalomaniac. He's more of a nerd engineer, which is why me, as an engineer and a nerd, have followed him and all of his projects and tried to glean what I can from how he goes about his engineering process. These things are known to engineers. It's just general knowledge. That doesn't seem to be the case when it comes to the general public. The general public seems to think that Elon Musk is some sort of crazy dictator or something. I have no idea. People are insane when you go up to the highest mainstream media level. I don't know what they're talking about anymore. These people start spouting things that don't even make sense. Why do they not even check the things that come out of their mouth? Maybe they don't check the things that go in either. I don't know. That's not for me to speculate on. However, I will laugh about it. What I do know for a fact is that engineers, people who are very mechanically minded and inclined, we there is no political point of doing anything. There's nothing. It is a total neutrality. It's a gray area. It doesn't matter what country am I in, right? Am I in the United States, Republican, Democrat, or am I in Canada, which is, I'm not quite sure what's going on over there. Australia has their thing going on. Other countries have their thing going on. I don't care. Are we able to innovate? Are we able to make engineering processes better? Are we able to launch rockets to the moon? These are the things I care about as an engineer, as a scientist. Lifelong. And will never stray. I only care about the science. The science. Data. What is it? What are feelings? Feelings are what adult humans have and should control by themselves, and little humans have and their parents should take care of. The fact of the matter is that we've come to a point now in society where we have to draw a line, and that is between those things that are imaginary and real. Some things are real. Gravity is real. Hunger, thirst are real. Entropy is real. Entropy affects everything. If we do not fight entropy, it will collapse everything, society included. Entropy gets us at the end. That's why we die. The entropy of the cell. It just is what it is. We as humans fight back against that and hope that the entropy doesn't fight back against us trying to fight it, which is what I seem to think is happening in our society right now. When forces fight back against the fact that we should, I don't know, procreate and go into the next generation, create awesome technology, not fight against ourselves. I just don't understand it anymore. Well, it's about time that we all decided what we were going to do. What is it that you're going to do? What is it that I'm going to do? Elon Musk has picked a side. That is the side of freedom. That's the side I'm on. Side all of us, I hope, would be on. Because to live without freedom is not to live at all. What is the point of living if it's in a cage? Would you bear children in a cage? Would you hope that their children got into a smaller cage? Where does this end? This is not an argument. I don't see where the point of arguing here is. When people say you shouldn't dead name people or don't talk to other people without their pronouns, these are all fictions. They're fictions. Now, I know this may hurt a lot of people's feelings. I don't care. And I don't apologize. In fact, this is constructive criticism. If you are living in a fantasy world that cannot be supported without some sort of magical fantasy juice from some medical pharmacy somewhere, what are they giving you? That is not natural. What are you doing to yourself? Stop. The reality is the reality. Life will play out as it plays out, and you have to evolve. Now, you have your choices. You can take things or not take things. You can try or not try. These are your choices. Whether you can be a man or a woman is not your fucking choice. That's God's choice or whatever you want to call that higher power, which I am quite agnostic, so I'm not exactly preaching any religion here or anything like that, but I'm just saying, if there were more than two sexes, we would see it in nature. That doesn't happen. That's not reality. If you can't get with that, you're not living in reality. And I don't have anything to say to you anymore except once you get to reality, we can have a conversation. Oh, and by the way, while you're not in reality, you can't participate in our society, is also what I would say. And by that, I don't mean you can't live or anything. I just mean you can't participate in politics. You can live and exist or whatnot, but if you believe that there's more than two genders, you can't exist in our government. That's fantasy. That is fantasy. I don't know why we have certain people in positions of power right now that think that there are more than two genders, or that a man can become a woman or a woman can become a man, because those things are crazy. That is insane to say a thing like that. We do not live in a video game. This is not the Matrix. You can't just swap your fucking gender. Who do you think you're talking to? People in charge? There are people at the highest levels of our government getting paid, I'm sure, close to six figures, if not more than that, which is, we're not even going to go into that right now. But these people, they don't deserve our respect. They have no respect for themselves. They don't live in reality. Ga- what kind of reality is it where you can do that? It's not this one. It's a video game reality. I like video games. A lot of people like video games. You can do that in video games or movies, fiction, not in the real world. That's why we call those things fiction. This is nonfiction. In nonfiction, men are men and women are women. Does that mean that one is better than the other? No, it doesn't. In fact, that's another discussion. 50-50 is the way that we need to keep it. 50-50, by the way. Let's not go any deeper than that right now, but 50-50. The line's drawn right there. Okay? No more than that. However, when it comes back to the point of tonight, which is freedom, which is being open with Twitter, which is Elon Musk and trying to we're trying to open this society back up to to debate again. And unfortunately, it's the scientists that and engineers that are trying to do it. And we're not really good at communication, by the way. You know, some of our best people are Elon Musk. He has a little, whatever. It's fine. But some of us, we're just not, we're not good with people. Who would have thought that someone that's really great with machines is bad with people? Wow. Oh no, people have flaws? Who would have thought? No one who watched the movies recently about Mary Sue women who are best at everything, which I don't go see anymore, by the way. Again, another topic. Toss that to the side. What we should really be worried about is there are people that are trying to they're trying to downplay this, I guess is the best way to put it. The best way to put it without going to whatever conspiratorial or whatnot. Yeah, do you notice how that's a bad word to say now? It's bad when some people say it, and it's okay when other people say it. You notice other words are like that as well? Do you, in fact, I would challenge people. This is a good challenge for a lot of people. Notice what you can say and what other people can say, and then try to explain that in your mind. Think critically. And by that, I don't mean critical theory, which is a theory in psychology that should only be applied in theory. Critical theory is horrible in practice and should never be used because there's so many problems. I'm not even going to go into that. Again, that's a problem. We're going to toss off to the side. That's a big problem, though. What? That's like we're going to roll that boulder over here. It's a DI boulder. Whatever the hell you want to call it. Anyway, what we're talking about right now is the fact that we need to allow these Twitter posts to come out in the way that they're going to come out. And hey, if it takes 6 months, a year, that doesn't matter. What matters is that it gets done right. And I trust Elon Musk to get the thing done right. And again, unlike other billionaire people, like if I was talking about Jeff Bezos, I would not be speaking the same way because that man is a businessman. He wants to make money. That's what Jeff Bezos wants to make money. The dude in charge of Apple, he wants to make money. The guy in charge of Disney wants to make money. Or any of these other people, the girls and guys, they just want to make money. Elon Musk is an engineer. That's why I've followed him for so long, and that's why I'm making this video essentially is to point out to normal people that this is an engineer. We're not talking about other types of people in this position. As an engineer, he's not going to get involved at the top level. That's not what you do. You farm that stuff out to other people that want to do that stuff. You concentrate on the things you're good at, which is engineering, making the system work, making the objects work. Like that is what an engineer does. There's no other, to me, there's no greater thing. Like I, if there was a group, I guess, or whatnot that I like to affiliate myself with, which I don't like to, by the way. Don't affiliate yourself with groups if you try. Or try not to, but in a broader sense, it is the scientific minded, the engineering minded people. I don't, power and money are not a motivational factor, I don't think. And yes, he's made a lot of money, but he's sacrificed a lot of money to make that money. And I think that he would sacrifice more money to make maybe money. He just spent $44 billion on Twitter. You think that a normal business person would do that? They would not do that. They would say, that's probably not a good idea. But Elon had a vision. He wanted to do a thing. He saw a system that he could improve, and he's going after it. And that's what we should be applauding. All this other stuff, that's on the side. Nobody who is scientifically and engineering minded should even care about anything else. Trying to improve the Twitter platform, trying to improve the algorithms, the code, trying to improve the app in and of itself, like adding new functionality. That's the point. Making this thing better is the point. And I think that can help society. I think that it could help society a lot. And, whatever comes out of these Twitter files, he shopped that off to a different person. And so that this stream is not about that. Unlike other streams that are going to talk about the actual Twitter files, I'm not even going to touch on them because they are for the political class, for the media class, for the whatever class that deals with that stuff. And like in a certain aspect, it is important. I understand that. Does it make the society work? No. Engineers and scientists make the society work. Do you want buildings? Do you want electricity? Do you want plumbing? Do you want things to make the society work? Then listen to us. Everyone else, the media class, the political class, all the other class, it's fine. Okay. You guys can do your thing. Women and guys, do your thing. Now, the engineering class, scientific class, I believe this is just, you cannot bully us around. We make the things that you use. There is no arguing here. I'll shut your stuff off. Do you want that? Because I'll do it. I'll make more things. Other things over here, and I won't let you have them. I'll shut off the things that I gave you, and I'll create more things on the other side. There is no argument here. These people need to understand that. The political class, the media, these people don't have any power. They get what they get. And again, no power is wanted. Elon Musk has a lot of power. I don't know if he would actually want that much power. He just gained it through circumstance, essentially. And now he is where he is. He's having a fun time. I applaud him. And I would hope that real people with critical thinking minds, with minds that can analyze what is true and what is false, what's a narrative. Can you spot propaganda? Again, so many of us work for companies or governments or whatever. They're going to try to influence you in one way or another if you haven't already been indoctrinated as a youngling, which is unfortunate. You're going to have to unfuck yourself. It is what it is. Sometimes it takes a little while. And I use those terms specifically because I do believe that indoctrination of the young is fucking them. And if any adult that does that, shame on you. What are you doing? Let kids be kids. Let families be families. Parents are supposed to raise children, not the state. If you're not someone's direct father or mother, or you haven't been assigned guardian duties, what are you doing trying to influence a child to do anything? If you're a teacher, you're given specific things that you're supposed to be teaching them, right? Math, science, very specific things. You're not supposed to be teaching them anything else. Our world is getting very weird, where some adults think that they can teach other people's children things. That's not okay. And so here we find ourselves again, coming all the way back to the beginning. The reason I started this stream is the fact that we, as a society, need to lay off people trying to do the right thing. Elon is trying to do the right thing. If you as an individual can do anything to just click that story off, turn on maybe one that's spouting a little bit of neutrality or maybe even a dissenting opinion, holy moly, from the mainstream media, that would be nice. They're not even really trying to cover what's going on, even though the Twitter files themselves speak to collusion between the government and a business, which is against the law. So, touching on that briefly, I just would have to, but again, we haven't seen all the evidence yet. And now we have other things coming out about this Mr. Baker person, that he's been involved in a lot of other shady things in our government. So here we go again. I don't like to get into this stuff. I am mainly, my streams are all about these live streams are sort of a stream of consciousness, just because I want to document for myself as well as anyone who wants to watch what's going on in my mind right now. Maybe it's good, maybe it's bad, whatever. I just want to document why. Why are we thinking this way? Why is it that it's okay to criticize someone for saying that free speech is okay, but yet it's okay to, burn buildings down because, or topple statues because they're quote unquote colonizers? These are still historical figures. Destroying history is not improving society. Teaching people to hate other people because of their ethnicity is never a good thing. I don't know where these people came from, but I wish they would go back to hell, which is where I think they came from. They certainly act like it. They're very bigoted, these people who think that you should judge everyone by the color of their skin, and that everyone should be put into a category according to, you know, their class and things like that. What are you what are you talking about? This is America. This is freedom. That's the land you are in now, and hopefully it will never change. That's why we have innovation here. That's why there are people like Elon Musk who is trying to do the things that he's done. And other people. There's so many things happen here in America because there's freedom. There's freedom to do things. And if we can spread that freedom to other places without actually invading them, would be fantastic. Because I don't think invading them has actually worked out in the past. That's another subject. We'll roll that giant boulder over there too. What do they say, right? Like, the path to hell is paved with good intentions. Who's to know what's good and what's not? But I will say this, without freedom, there is no trying to figure out what's good and what's not. Because without freedom, you can't test any theories. So getting rid of freedom is essentially cutting off your ability to even try to get to the best answer. Why would any stable society, any mentally stable society, do that? I don't like the people that try to censor people. They're authoritarians. Authoritarians need to be rejected at every turn. Every turn. Authoritarians corrupt our system. They want to get into control just so that they can lord it over other people. Those are not the people you want in control. This is the problem with our political system. The only people that actually volunteer are people who want the power. That's why it shouldn't work that way. But what are we going to do? I have a few suggestions, but they'll never be heard. So why even voice them? Getting late, so we'll wrap this up by just saying that Elon Musk is doing the right thing. He needs to release this stuff over time. It'll work out. I really hope that the people who were implicated in this government conspiracy, which is what it is, I'm not using this word out of turn here. This is a government conspiracy because the government conspired with Twitter and people internally in Twitter to ban people of a different political party. That is a conspiracy. The definition of conspiracy. So this is not a theory. This is just a conspiracy. The people who conspired, those in the government and in Twitter, need to be held legally accountable for this. Because the people of the United States we're not amused anymore. Most of us are very, very tired and, quite frankly, angry at the fact that the manipulation, propaganda, lying at high levels has been out of control for the past 10 years at minimum. Maybe 20 years if you want to stretch that all the way back to what came right after the attack, right? Because back then, people okayed certain spying on individual citizens in the United States because they were afraid. And that has blown into this whole problem now. There is a huge problem where our government is spying on citizens and calling them terrorists, essentially, because of it was a policy that was put in place because planes actually hit a building and took it down. And now you're calling citizens who have a different political belief terrorists? These are totally two different things. Our rules have they've been conflated to the fact where we're demonizing our own citizens. And it's making the citizens distrust the government, which is in turn going to make the government distrust the citizens, which is going to do another feedback loop. This can only end in blood. You understand where I'm going here? There's no safe way to stop this unless we stop it. If it keeps on rolling the way it's rolling, there's just going to be blood. That is the way this is going. We have to say, okay, government, you've been lying. That's fine. You have to, stop lying and let us know what's been going on. That's the only way this is going. And then we as the public have to trust them that they're telling us the truth. Now, again, those two things aren't guaranteed. And so if they're not guaranteed, then again, there's that red puddle over there that I keep trying to not look at. But hopefully we can come to some sort of agreement. That would be fantastic before we end up in death spiral. Anyway, maybe Twitter will help. Maybe it won't. This is another, I hate to say it, but this is just another battle. This is not the end, nor is it even close to the beginning of what some would call a culture war, but it's more a war for the Constitution. This is a constitutional war within the United States. I'm not going to call it a civil war yet, but it certainly seems like it's getting there. Because you have a certain amount of people who think that you can break the Constitution when it's appropriate, which is not true. You either have a Constitution and you abide by it, or it's a free-for-all. And that's the way it's going to be. And if these people break that constitution and try to put an authoritarian regime in, that is not going to go well. Again, these are things that I do not want to see come to fruition at all. So let's all work to do what we can, please, rather than just let it go down the way that it's sort of going right now. Until then, keep up with your exercising, keep a healthy diet, get enough sleep, and hey, tomorrow will be a better day if you make it that way. Later.